All right, we're going live. Sorry for the late delay, guys. So, first time, huh? So, guys, I just hit the live stream button. Welcome back to another episode of the Box Mining live stream, where we take a look at what's happening in the cryptocurrency world: Bitcoin, Ethereum, alt currencies, innovation, decentralized finance, and everything here. So, today is Monday the 15th here in Asia. It's bright and early on a Monday. So, 恭喜发财, everyone. To anyone celebrating Chinese New Year, it's still a holiday for us here. We're still kind of in the joyous mood. And for those of you in North America, it is February the 14th and it is Valentine's Day. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are showing us some love because there is some Valentine's Day discounts today. I don't know how I managed to speak that with a smile, but yes, the cryptocurrency prices are falling today. We're taking a massive dump. Bitcoin, Ethereum, not so much. So Ethereum dropped around 6% today. There's a minor discount, but there's a lot on the DeFi front that has dropped recently. Let me just very quickly refresh that. That makes a lot more sense. Almost everything is red. Okay, I'm just gonna hold myself back, but there's been considerable discounts on the decentralized finance front. So we got, oh, wait, this is not working. Give me 1 second. So it should be this one. Done. Yeah, there we go. So now we see the prices of all these cryptocurrencies falling a little bit today. By a little bit, I mean 25%. So falling by a quarter, 1 inch is down, curve is down. Elrond down, RSR, Tezos, QST, you can see double digits, not just double digits, but 20% dips over the past 24 hours for a lot of coins today. So it's basically a lot on the DeFi front, a lot on the altcoin front. It is savage discounts today. So yeah, it's not it's not the easiest. All right. So we're back now. Yeah, there you go. Can't see there was a white screen for a second there. So yeah, um not the nicest day, all right, to be waking up to. This morning I was waking up. I was like, oh, everything's fine. 10 minutes later, bam, everything was just crashing down, and I was trying to figure out what the hell was happening. Obviously, this type of dips do happen in crypto. It is pretty savage. It happens almost all the time. So we're gonna explore that today on today's episode. Like, what's happening here? What's my strategy? Obviously, a lot of people are asking, where's the panic sell button? Where's the panic buy button? Here is where diamond hands or strong hands actually matter. To be honest, it's an emotional roller coaster ride. It's not going to be easy to take big losses. You guys know that I'm very, very deep into decentralized finance. I've enjoyed enormous gains. So expecting like this type of dump is part of the game. Like things don't go up. Like even if you look at the past 7 days, right? Let me just quickly switch to that. If you look at the past 7 days, a lot of these, even though they may look like they're down, right? Stuff like ontology, Zilliqa, Tezos, even comparing to the past week or so, it's still up aggressively. Even something like OMG Network, we got VeChain, it's up 63%, even despite the past 24 hours are going down 20%, it's still up 63% over the last week. So overall, it's still great, right? But it doesn't feel good to have a 20% dip in the past like 24 hours. So just putting everything into perspective. So obviously, I'm sure everyone here is going to experience a lot of emotions, and it's definitely not my first time to see something like this, and I don't think it's my last either, to be honest. We've been through maybe 25% dips, but we've been through like 50% dumps in a day as well, depending on market conditions. And a lot of this is just due because of how aggressively the market moved up last week. That's my current take. I think there might be a lot of other people like creating news out of this, but I didn't see any huge amounts of news. Every bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that did come up over the weekend, say for example, we did have, and this is something we're going to cover today as well, we did have a major hack that happened on DeFi protocol Alpha Homora. So Alpha had a hack that allowed people to bleed some of its bank vaults because they're trying to create a new vault. There was an error that allowed people to essentially steal, not people, one hacker to steal 37 million US dollars worth of cryptocurrencies. But that happened like weekend. All right, it's old news already. People forgot about that already. It's gone. So what's new? What's not? Is the market. The market just behaves the way the market is. So I wouldn't link too much of the past news with what's happening on the markets right now. We'll look forward and we'll look at some of the potential reasons. But a lot of this is due to how aggressively these coins have moved up in the past week or so, and this is why. Anyways, we'll be doing a lot of storytelling today. So make sure, guys, you're coming into this video. We're going to take a look at the new stuff that's happening. We're taking a look at the markets. We're going to take a look at the news, and we're going to take a look at the questions and answers for everyone here. So if you guys are joining us for the first time, smash up the like button, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, because I do these live streams, and it does really I try to keep them as close to the market as possible so you guys know exactly what I'm thinking and what is up in this current state. So make sure you smash all those buttons down. And we also have these two bears coming back today. It's Valentine's after all. People are wondering what happened to this bear. We had him during Christmas. He ran off for a while. He found a girlfriend. Now he's back. That's our story for the day. So anyways, smash up those likes, guys. Let's get the show started. All right, so classically with every show, we begin by looking at the market. So yet again, if you actually look at the past 7 days, we've been experiencing some tremendous growth, right? So Bitcoin's all the way at $47,000. So yesterday, or at least in the past few hours, yes, we did have a mini dump, but still overall, Bitcoin is still holding very strong. And this really goes to show that this year Bitcoin it's got some solid support, right? During the time when the whole market is dumping, when there's fear and blood on the market, when Bitcoin is holding so strong, that's generally a very, very good sign. So yet again, 47,000 for the majors here, not too much going on. Now with Ethereum, there is a past 24 hours, we got 5% dump. The dump was very, very prevalent. If you actually just look at it very closely, we'll just switch over to Bitcoin right here. Low chart. Sorry, switch over to Ethereum right here. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? All right, so yeah, so it's very, very gigantic red arrow that happened all of a sudden, taking down prices all the way down to 1,600 for a few minutes before moving up. So this is very, very likely a very, very big sell order. So I've actually looked at a few exchanges to see where the order books are, and it does seem to be the case that it seems to be like one large market order that took everything down. All the spreads between a lot of the coins were very huge, right? So usually the buy and the sell books, like when you look at the books and you look at buy and sell orders, usually they're very close to each other. But it seems to be the case that there was a huge plummet, so all the buy orders got eaten up, and then the sell orders are still very high. That's why there was a huge gap. Anyways, that was an observation I was observing around an hour ago, just during this big dump that was happening. Now, why exactly is this? It could be triggered by two possible, maybe it's a spark event that caused everything to be triggered and to sell. And then also we have to realize that right now this market is extremely leveraged. So there's a lot of leveraged longs in this position, especially after Chinese New Year. People are expecting prices to move up. And when people are on leverage, a minor dump like this can cause a cascading effect, right? So when people are long, they expect the markets to move up. But if the markets move down, what happens is that they don't have enough money to keep that position alive, right? This is where, you see those big movies called like the margin call and stuff. People don't do that nowadays. These markets just liquidate directly. So it's like boom, prices get liquidated, obliterated. That's kind of how the situation was. And this is something that we definitely can expect in crypto. And this is definitely that something could be going on. We can potentially see a Bart Simpson pattern, or it could be the case there. Well, depending on how over leveraged the market is, which is why I'm eyeing the market very closely, we could have another cascading fall and then move up again. So we can see the reverse Bart Simpson pattern that everyone kind of famously looks for. So this is when the markets go down and then it moves up. Then you have some spiky hair, right? This is the Bart Simpson pattern, and then moves back all the way up. All right, it's my very bad drawing. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm not a big. You can definitely see why I'm not selling NFT art. So it might be this situation also, which is kind of kind of seen in this space quite a bit, especially when the markets are so over leveraged like this. How much leverage do we have? You can actually see funding rates. So if you actually look at ViewBase, this is where you can get a rough idea of how the leverage is working in this current space. So something that's quite interesting, right? So the greener it is, the more longs there is in this space. So it's kind of interesting comparing the amount of leverage that every market has. So it's kind of interesting to see now that the ETH markets are actually no longer over leveraged. That's actually very, very interesting. So the funding rates are negative over here, but very, very close to zero. So that's actually very, very interesting. That could be the case where a lot of positions got wiped out just now, and then everything's restarting, and then we'll have to see what's going on. This is something that I definitely take a look at to see where the traders are going. And if you guys want to know more about funding rates, I have some kind of solid solid videos about what funding rates are on the members only channel. So always check that up if you're a member. Check out the members only channel about funding rates and how that kind of interplays with the market. But anyways, long story cut short, it does seem like a lot of longs got liquidated just now. That's why there was this huge spike down. So if I'm looking at the funding rates just now, to be honest, not financial advice, of course, but because there's not an insane large number, so positive funding rates suggest investors are bullish. But if you actually look at ETH, the funding rates are negative now, which means that the chances of another spike down may be decreased, right? So initially I was drawing a very strong spike down, but given this information now that the funding rates are not extremely positive, it could be the case where there's not going to be any more liquidations like that in the future. So anyways, long story short. HA says, Box Money dumps his coins before every live stream. Actually, not actually. I always take a look at the positions on where it is. I'm actually quite tempted to see where I can buy right now, but I have not bought yet. So, how I was joking to say earlier that, yeah, I'm looking Valentine's Day discount, right? So I'm definitely looking at which ones are that I can take a good position in, but I have not entered just because I'm still kind of observing the market, what the majors are going to do before I take a position with my alts on my trading account. That is what I'm thinking. But it does seem to be the case where Bloody Mondays are back. It's like yeah, like it happens, right? This is not this first time it happened. Last time it was also a Bloody Monday, at least on Asia's side. Anyways, but that's actually good, honestly. Market taking falling back a bit, but if you actually look at it, I drew my support here at around 1,500, which I can expect some support. I can probably move it up, we'll see. But I'm going to move my support line up to here because it does seem to be the case where we couldn't drop. The bears could not dump at 1,600, which is good. And then we can actually move this up a little bit. We can see where our support and resistances are at this current point. But what we can see, if we observe it for another 2-3 hours and then see how strong that support is, I think it's going to be good. So, interesting. ZODMV says, we are far from the top, need some VFO. Okay, so now let's go to the dive deeper to a lot of the other stuff that is dumping. So obviously Bitcoin gold's up, but you can definitely see that we are a lot more in the bloodshed territory than usually. So yes, a lot of DeFi is currently down. There's definitely a discount on decentralized finance at this current point. It might be the case that investors are waking up to the fact that yes, this is a very experimental space in decentralized finance. I think that's abundantly clear already that a lot of this is experimental. And a lot of this week, of course, I'll just highlight the biggest thing that happened this week, which was with Alpha Homora and the Iron Bank. So $37 million were lost to a hacker this weekend. And it goes to show that DeFi is still very experimental. There could be cases where hackers can severely abuse a particular system and steal lots of funds, millions of dollars, so to speak. And good and bad, right? If you actually look at how decentralized finance is working, there's a lot of promise, right? Someone can write a contract and immediately millions of dollars gets thrown in that contract and things start working. Now, the problem, of course, with decentralized finance is that because we're so early, a lot of flaws are not known. So in the case of the Alpha Homora hack and this Iron Bank, what was happening with the hack? I'll just put that very quickly because it's such a big news. I'll put an article for this, but I'll probably have to explain it a little bit more clearly because at the initial side of things, right, it involved two kind of very big pillars of decentralized finance. One is Alpha, the other is Cream, which created some product called the Iron Bank. So, okay, exactly what happened. So Alpha Homora was deploying a new contract. So they're deploying something new with SUSD, and this was going through audits and was not announced to the public. But someone found a contract. Now, we're going to speculate on who that is because there's going to be some interesting information coming out and leaking out as well. But this was something brand new. This was something that's they're about to launch but not fully launched yet. For some reason, some hacker managed to find it and managed to withdraw a huge amount of funds from that new product they were launching. Now, they managed to withdraw this huge amount without providing any collateral. So they essentially just borrow money without providing any collateral. It's like just taking it, right? It's like, hey, yo, it's bank, give me some money. Give me all your money. All right, cool, thanks. And then just like take off. Essentially, that was kind of essentially what happened. It just like did a massive withdrawal, took off, have a nice day. That's pretty much the end of the story. But what was kind of bad was that because they took away funds, right? They withdrew funds. A lot of that were funds from either Alpha Homora or the other DeFi infrastructure, which was the Iron Bank. Iron Bank is basically a backbone finance infrastructure. It lends out money to particular platforms. So it managed to withdraw funds from both. So both users of Alpha Homora and Cream are affected by this. So I'll still follow up, but that was kind of the gist of what was happening. It's definitely a gross oversimplification of what's happening, but it seems to be the case where a new product was kind of the weakness. Now, before we spread a lot of fear, before we go panicking like crazy, few things here, right? First of all, new products definitely need to be audited, or internally, at least make sure internally that all the things work. Now, there is a suspicion that potentially audit companies might even be the culprit here because this product is unreleased, and who knew about it, right? Who knew about this product and who can sabotage this platform like this? So yet again, not throwing suspicions out there, but there seems to be some words floating around that, who really did know about this new product, this new unreleased product, and then to go. All right, I'll leave it at that. I'm closing the door on that, but suspicions are out there. Now, then goes the money, right? So $37 is no small amount, but it's also not a large amount. So neither platforms are dead right now. So like DeFi is still going to work and people are still going to push on. So I think that's kind of core to remember that decentralized finance, the way it works right now, right, is that it's super experimental. And I think both sides are going to learn, like both platforms are going to learn a lot from this, right? So because of the experimental nature of decentralized finance at this current point, there's this phrase, right, that Andre Cronje termed up, which is testing in production, right? So right now, a lot of this is still beta test. A lot of this is still testing. But the reason why people test in production is because without real money being in these contracts, without real capital there, it's almost impossible to test what can and cannot happen, right? So this is the correct lens to view DeFi. It is a big experiment. It can go wrong, and a lot of people are putting real money, live money into this experiment. So obviously it really depends on what people want their risk exposure to be like, right, at this current point. But I'll definitely say that if you're not able to tolerate such risks, do not like play around with DeFi. It's not safe at all. But at the same time, if you do have the necessary safety precautions, like I've set up a lot of safety precautions here. This is an experimental space. This is where you can recreate the new backbone infrastructure of a new financial system. How crazy is that, right? Even reading about this, like how particular, like something like the Iron Bank can supply capital to other products and stuff. This is all about capital efficiency, right? Where capital can go, right? This is what the banks do, right? Banks have a lot of money saved there, and they deploy the capital into various strategies. And here again, you can have like the central bank, local bank infrastructure here. Anyways, I think a lot of that infrastructure is being almost created on decentralized finance, which is crazy, right? Creating a new way for new DeFi with new finance, but it's crazy risky as well. So anyways, that could be one of the reasons why a lot of people freaked out about decentralized finance, that there could be hacks. It could be one of the reasons, but yet again, I would be, a little bit slow on putting that as an exact culprit because that happened around 2 days ago, and now roughly we're trying to sort out exactly what happened and what's going on in this case. There's the post-mortem analysis is happening there. But regardless, yes, we do have dips in the DeFi sector right now. And obviously, of course, if you actually just look at all these dips, obviously DeFi took up a lot uh, aggressively, and then moving down a little bit is definitely expected, especially on a market like this. So anyways, that's my current take on everything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to answer some Q&A, then we're going to look very quickly through the news of what's going on and what's happening. So guys, thank you all for coming in. We have 1,000 something people coming in today, so I would really appreciate everyone for smashing up those likes. If you guys are concerned, I've done this before. Although I'm very tired of doing this, there's a lot of people who don't know what's going on, a lot of people who have a lot of fear in them. So definitely tell me what your emotions are feeling are. A lot of times I feel like YouTube channels become like a emergency SOS center for people who have like severe trauma. I've had a lot of trauma from this market before. Taking enormous dips like this is not easy. Someone joked before, he came from a finance background. He said, his entire annual salary, his entire annual wage would vary every 3 days, right? But this is probably like every hour, your entire salary from your old job could, go up or down. And this is crypto, right? It's extremely volatile. It's extremely sometimes euphoric. Like I said, last week, I was living in euphoria for the last 2 weeks already because of just how much the markets have moved up. I was ecstatic. Obviously, today, some of that was lost, like 20%, to be exact, right? It's a big dump, but that's fine, right? It's not probably less than 20% because I have other coins, but just saying, if I took a hit like this, like a 20% hit, obviously it's not great, but at the same time, it's. Shane Molly says, I feel nothing. And then Mauricio Rodriguez says, how should I feel? ? Seahawk says, box, I am wrecked. I don't know. It's quite hard to, I would still say it's still quite hard to be fully wrecked in this market right now, to be honest, to be frankly honest, right? Obviously it sucks to lose money, right? Number goes down and it's not cool. But at the same time, I think it's actually quite hard. I mean, considering if you've been in crypto for even 2 weeks now, you're still going to be in massive profit as long as you don't do some dumb shit, right? Sorry for using that language. As long as you're not doing the stupidest stuff, this wave has been just phenomenal, right? For everyone who has been in crypto, it's very much a validation. I've gained a lot more confidence because obviously, you feel like such a loser for holding for so long. I mean, during 2018, 2019, 2020, I held through, right? I had Bitcoin, I had Ethereum, I had VeChain, I had DeFi products. I was investing in this space, and you feel like such an idiot sometimes, right? Because everyone's like, "Oh, you're a loser," right? You go to the bankers. Like I have a lot of friends as bankers, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a loser. Why are you holding on to that crypto? Crypto's dead. It's not gonna come back." And then 2020 came along, and 2021 came along. I can just shove that in their face, right? Yo, take a look. Yeah. So it's still there, but obviously we're going to ride those waves up and down, and that's part of life. It's something that I've kind of grown accustomed to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much all I have to say about that. That's my inspiring quote of the day. Not very inspiring, but it's for me, it's been validating. I think I don't really need to question myself these days anymore. Like I know this market is the way it is, but I've also known the opportunities here, and I think that's kind of the play I'm looking at. I'm aggressively investing in the space still. The amount of innovations here is crazy. The amount of losses here, little bit, but at the same time, I think if you actually just zoom out, I think if you actually look at everything that, like if you can do a retrospect in maybe 5-10 years, this would be the new internet, right? This would be the new internet. Like this would be like people will be like, oh my god, this was the opportunity not to miss out on. Right. And I think this is a lot of people forget that. A lot of people who are in crypto, they forget that. They look at the sudden drops or the sudden booms. They forget that whatever is being created here, like think about it, a new backbone for the new financial infrastructure. Like Come on, come on. All right. Uh, all right, so let's do some news. Let's catch up on everything that's happening on the news and move on to everything. So yet again, let's say Mark Cuban predicts blockchain is the new internet. Okay, yeah, I mean, guess where that thing came from. But that being said, all right. So I mean, Mark Cuban has always been pro Bitcoin. He's been very aggressively pro Bitcoin, and I want to drop this in as well. So instead of just copying what he says, and this is a new internet, I'll drop this in. All right. So this is something that is quite well known in entrepreneur circles, which is that every 10 years there's going to be a great technological leap forward. Something hot is going to just take over this world. And it only happens every decade, right? So it's like in the 90s we had pretty much personal computers, PCs, right? If you were there in the early PC days and you created a computer software company, you're going to be great. The 2000s were the .com. Right, every decade, top a decade .com, right? This is where Amazon, Google, Apple was born. This is where if you spend the time on that new thing, you are going to change the world, right? Now, 2010, a little bit different, but it's the iPhone, the smartphone, the apps, right? If you jumped into the app scene, that was where all the money can be made. That's where you can go from 0 to 1 million, right? That's where the innovation, that's where all the power is. And now 2020, this is where blockchain is, decentralized finance, right? This is where things are taking off right now. This is the new thing for this decade, right? So if you missed out on something like the PC game, right? I'm too young for that. I was like, okay, too late. .com, I was still too young for that. Smartphone apps, I was a little bit late, didn't identify that, right? I was still doing science and chemistry and stuff. I wasn't a programmer. If I was, I would have jumped on. But that was where, like during the smartphone craze, like a husband and wife team, they made Temple Run, right? It's just like, two people made Temple Run, then they got to work with Disney, making millions of dollars, right, per month, right? That was how crazy it was during the whole smartphone era. Now going into DeFi era, people like Andre Cronje, he basically just dreams up a contract, types it up, boom, millions of dollars get locked up. It becomes the future of finance. I mean, how crazy is that, right? Anyways, I don't think I need to echo this more, but this is the opportunity. This is opportunity, and we get to join in the opportunity. I mean, not every one of us is a programmer, but at the same time, we get to be part of this whole entire ecosystem. So that's kind of crazy, right? So that's one thing. The other one is the DeFi hack, which I talked a little bit about. One other thing to note, this is some good news. Check if you have 1-inch airdrops. So 1-inch exchange. So this is a DeFi aggregator. So what it does is it runs through, if you want to do any transaction, say you want to buy Ethereum or sell it. Okay, let's say we want to buy Ethereum, right? It runs through multiple exchanges to see what is going on, right? So this is a 1-inch exchange and aggregates different exchanges, combines it, and gives you the best rate. Obviously, sometimes it does cost a little bit more gas, but at the end of the day, you can get a better rate. And 1-inch, they did an airdrop. Okay, so let's cut into it. 1-inch did an airdrop. You can get free tokens. If you've been trading on Uniswap, 1-inch wants you. Right, 1-inch wants you, and they're gonna offer you free tokens. So make sure you check. So go to 1-inch exchange and check if you have any free tokens here. Right, so free alpha, free money. Right, literally free money. On this account, I did not have it, so you have to be actively trading in the past few days. I did get it on my main account. So this is the account that I'm logged in here is my alt one. I'm just using that for a YouTube show, but for my main primary account that I've been trading for on Uniswap on, there are 1-inch tokens that are there for free. So I know I love free tokens, but just make sure if you claim, make sure that you're not claiming during this crazy gas times right now. Like right now, it probably costs you like hundreds of dollars to claim it. So anyways, yeah, just free alpha tip right there. If you're just hop on 1-inch, check, and you can also check like the claim 1-inch. You can also use the check button feature to find out if you're if you have any tokens to claim for that. All right, so we also moving on forward towards the news. We got Andrew Yang. He plans to make New Europe a hub for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We didn't see that coming. So he's definitely very pro crypto right now. Andrew Yang. Obviously, he's not the president, but maybe next year, maybe in 3 years' time. But Anyways, I think that's gonna be cool. I think this is where the people who are smart are now all moving to crypto, right? This is where it's happening, right? I think that, like I said, people who know, people who are in the zone and identify that this is the opportunity of the decade, they're moving here, right? I think that's a given. Elon Musk, you got that coming. You got Andrew Yang coming over, and these guys are not like just saying, right? I think Elon really put some real substance to his words by buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Not a small amount. Not a small amount. Now, we also have Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is quietly offering crypto custody. The banks know what's going on. They know what's going on. They're building products that, yet again, it reaffirms that the idea that this is the big thing that's going on. Now they're building products for that. So yet again, putting substance to words is kind of core here. Now let's see what else we have here. Yeah, again, last thing, if you have a broken, shattered ego, Bitcoin goes mainstream as institutions hold 3% of Bitcoin's circulating supply. I would definitely expect that to grow, but kind of 2017, we're like, oh, institutions are coming. Well, they are coming. It just took a long time, right? The issue here is that traditional finance moves a lot slower than these crypto finance. Crypto finance is like this super rocket, right? In the past 6 months, we have lending platforms. We have an Iron Bank infrastructure, the whole infrastructure that supports more finance on top of it. We have yield farming coming in, yield aggregators coming in. We have insurance platforms coming in. We have NFT auction houses coming in. How fast did DeFi move in the past 6 months alone, right? Traditional finance, they're going to take some time. Institutional investors, they're going to take some time. That's makes me extremely excited because I can be ahead of everyone else, and that's great. So anyways, it's great to be here. All right, let's see 1 inch drop. Let's see what else we have. Okay, this is actually quite bad too. Okay, so I saw this. Apparently Suppoman got banned from YouTube. That was pretty shitty. If you guys know Suppoman, we done streams together, and some people love him, some people hate him. But at the end of the day, he provided a lot of really good content, and he's very, very popular. And YouTube just banned him for no particular reason. This really makes me pissed off. This is one of those things that he's making real content. He has people watching him, and I think for some reason, YouTube is just screwing with all these crypto content creators. So guys, do subscribe to Suppoman if you guys watch his content. Definitely, he provides some really good intel, and he really breaks things down in a lot simpler ways. When I watch him, I'm like, oh man, I'm making things so complicated. Make it easier. So guys, he's starting a new channel up here. He's pretty devastated by being hit. Screw this YouTube. Come on YouTube. So I'll put that link up there to just support him when this is a time when our community needs to come together and support him. So there we go. All right, we also have, let's see what's going on here. We got SOTA launching on TrustSwap. So new stuff coming on February 18th. If you guys are interested in SOTA, so they're a multi-chain NFT platform. They are launching on the TrustSwap Launchpad. So if you guys are into TrustSwap, you guys know I'm an advisor for TrustSwap, so I can stake my TrustSwap and get access to the SOTA pre-sale. So that's going to go on February 18th. Make sure you guys know what's happening. TrustSwap has just been constantly producing. I think, everyone expects me to show this, obviously, but look, when TrustSwap first came about, people were so skeptical of it. They're like, oh, this has been done before. But with what they're building right now, they're building a platform so coins can be launched with safety, with liquidity locks, with a guarantee, smart contract level guarantee that the founders will not dump the tokens. That's pretty much crazy amount of build over the past week. And on top of that, of course, we got the TrustSwap Launchpad going on. Lots happening there. So definitely, guys, take a look at SOTA, what's going on the next TrustSwap Launchpad project. We also have DuckStarter. DuckStarter is also launching. So DuckStarter is starting their staking, and they're going to start for both Shadows and Vortex DeFi coming up. So the DuckStarter website is also a little bit like TrustSwap Launchpad. I'm also part of TrustSwap, not TrustSwap, DAO. So DuckDAO is doing this, and DuckDAO actually has a partnership with TrustSwap as well. It's like a huge big family for everyone. But so DuckStarter, they're launching Shadows and Vortex DeFi, both of which are super crazy. I've been learning about them for the past week or so, and yeah, there's a crazy amount of innovation going on in the space. Obviously, everything is experimental, but at the same time, the amount of stuff that's happening today, not just today, but in this space is phenomenal. On top of that, Ethbox is now also going to be part of the Duck farm as well. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on those both entire ecosystems out there. They're quite crazy. People aggressively knowing how to build a community. This is where the action is right now. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for today's update. I think I got most of what I wanted to cover to be covered, apart from probably maybe one last one, which is over here, which is let's see that. Canada approves the first North American Bitcoin ETF. So yet again, Canada pushing there. We got BTCC as a ticker listed on Toronto Exchange going on. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today's news update. We have pretty much, we're going to do a pretty chill session right now. Yeah, I'm just trying to look over to see if there's any news I missed out on today. Just looking through my list, my mini news update list. Not too much. I think that's pretty much covers everything. Let's see. There's a question there. Let's hold my brothers. So Eridism says, thoughts on FXF. We're actually going to do an interview very soon on Finex Flow. It's the latest Polka starter project as well. Definitely lots going on. So stay tuned for that. There's actually going to be quite a lot of good content coming up, sir. Vetcoin time to buy, says John Meacham. Sorana says OnlyFans coin. There is already a porn coin called Swag. If you guys are into that, yeah, lots of comments on everything. What are diamond hands? Oh my god, diamond hands are just strong hands, just diamond hands, because diamond hands are forever. So let's take a look at the market. Why is everything crashing? Well, if you think about it, like if it's not abundantly clear right now, why is everything crashing? But everything moved up very, very aggressively in the past few months, and this is why a correction like this is very, very possible, if not the case. But what we did notice, and what we kind of concluded here, is that we do have some very, very strong support coming in. We definitely see ETH bounce off at 1,680. We definitely also see that the funding rates are actually returning back to normal at this current point, which is actually a very good sign, to be honest. I don't really want everyone on a leverage position. That will kind of suck. But you actually see negative funding rates for the first time, which means that traders may be shorting right now, but at the same time, it also means that we won't have this kind of Bart Simpson pattern that we saw earlier. I'm not too worried about people shorting at this current point, because I feel like crypto has a lot of meat. So if you actually look at the time scale of, say, like 5-10 years for crypto to be, or at least this or for Ethereum infrastructure to build out alternative to the traditional finance space, which has trillions of dollars, not billions. Right now we have like billions of dollars in crypto, but if this is just the experiment, imagine what happens when we put trillions of dollars on these platforms, right? So I'm not at all concerned right now for the long-term longevity stay of crypto, but obviously a lot of people will probably be concerned about the short term, and short term is something that anything can go, right? You have, right now I definitely see there's definitely a lot of mass panic. It does seem to be the case where when it does fall, people who anticipate a dip will start selling. Like there's panic selling. This is where diamond hands comes in, because this is when you actually look aggressively at the buy side. But at this current point, I definitely saw early on, if you guys look at TX Street, this is something that I look up pretty much every day to see how much transactions cost to make on Ethereum. And this is priced in GUI. So this is the gas price for it. The higher the GUI, the more expensive the transaction. Earlier today, when Ethereum made its first dip, it was around 600. That meant that there were people aggressively trying to either buy or sell or trade cryptocurrencies at that time. You can also kind of see and gauge a visual gauge of what's going on. So if you just look at the people coming out, if you look at people coming out of the Uniswap cabin, that's where people are traders. Traders are aggressively trying to jump on these buses, trying to get their transactions sent. Obviously, the more they pay in terms of gas price, the faster the transaction will go, and the higher chance of it succeeding as well. You don't want your transactions to fail, right? That's a bad case. So you definitely see that Ethereum is having a huge amount of activity, and Bitcoin, on the other hand, is still relatively empty. People holding Bitcoin relatively unfazed by this recent dip. We don't see tremendous Bitcoin activity right now. We don't see the panic right now. So you can kind of see this as panicked people on Uniswap jumping on the trains, trying to figure out where to position themselves. And then you can see a mild smile on my face because like I guess I set everything up in such a way that like I'm not too concerned about what's going on. Like this weekend, I wasn't too focused on altcoins. I was actually more focused on farms and making sure how my farms can go ahead. And at this current point, there's still a lot of opportunity in this space. I mean, I was even talking about Goose DeFi, right? New Binance Smart Chain farms are definitely the hot thing right now this weekend. And I was just watching this throughout the weekend. It was kind of crazy. Because as a farm project, this was generating insane yields. So if you check out the Nest section of this had something like crazy, like 900% annual percentage yield, right? These are insane numbers that were popping up. But the penalty for or the drawback for Goose DeFi was a deposit fee of 4%. So this is where the deposit fee, they every time you deposit, you'll lose 4%, which is no small amount, but that is used to buy back eggs. So whether or not this like economic works or not, I'm not gonna say, but people love it though. That was kind of the conclusion of this weekend. I was kind of researching this, figuring out if I didn't make deposits. My strategy for this is not to buy egg, but rather to make the deposit and then earn the 1000% APY, right? Of course, don't be lured by too large numbers. There's, of course, risks. For example, the 4% deposit fee. Obviously, that risk can be recovered in around 2 days right now. Like the 4% can be recovered in 2 days. But the bigger risk is smart contracts. They still haven't gotten full audits yet. So you guys have to be a little bit careful. But yet again, it's a situation where, boy, there's a lot of opportunity here in the cryptocurrency space. So yet again, for me personally, I just did a few stablecoin deposits, test that out, and it was kind of crazy this weekend. And that's happening. We got Kyle L says, why is the alt market dripping right now? Guys, it moved up so much. Like, relax, calm down, relax, calm. All right, like what do you expect? Like, honestly, what do you expect? Like, corrections are part of life. You can't have number go up all the time, right? The fact that the numbers went up for like 2 weeks straight, like my mind was blown already. So having this correction is very important. Like, we still haven't experienced a major correction. I feel like of all the new traders I've talked to coming into the space, number only went up for them for like months, right? Like, no one has ever taken any losses. That's not a healthy space. There's going to be a lot of delusions of grandeur in the space. There's a lot of people who have never survived through hardship, right? That's hard. It's not easy to, like, it's a core part of trading to be able to survive through hardship like this. And a correction like this is very, very necessary. Having the discounts here is very, very necessary for me as well. Matt 888 says, quit acting like whiny bitches and be patient. Sorry for the swearing there, but yeah, I think that's that made me laugh, but at the same time, it's very, very real, man. It's very, very real. All right. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Stone Cold Malone says market consolidation is healthy. That is a better way of phrasing, quick whining bitches and shut the STF view. But yeah. Ghost of GG says, seriously, if they react, it's crazy. Now imagine a 40% correction. So definitely on this channel, we've had people who survived. I mean, I made content throughout 2018, 2019, 2020. So if you guys follow me through there, you know I was buying aggressively. You know that I've been holding diamond hands for this long time. Like VeChain was definitely not an easy hold. But the fact is that VeChain is like, it was like a rocket ship, right? And it still is a rocket ship if you look at it. 67% in the past 24 hours. Sure, it dumped like 16% in the past 24 hours, but it's up a lot. And I've been very, very thankful that I had the confidence to hold. It was not easy. None of this is easy. You know, personally for me, it was very, very rough going through everything. But, you know, we survived, and that's part of it. So am I ready for the next crazy run up? Yes. Am I ready for a complete obliteration? Yes, absolutely. If things drop 80% the next day, I'm still going to be around, right? I think that's the core. Even if Bitcoin drops 80%, I'm going to be around. I'm not going to leave, right? Even 100%, freaking, I'm going to buy more. I'll make it $1. Okay. I'll buy all, just joking. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I think that's it for me. I think Random Video says, I lost $4 in just 5 seconds. $4 only? Like, dude. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today. Lots going on. Let's see, answering some questions. BTC Diamond. No, BTC is the real BTC. Lucas Davenport says, crypto is fake. You should be a doctor like your uncle. Low. All right, the Great Depression's coming. No, don't go. I don't know. We got a lot of like 2017 survivors here, and I think that's kind of good. Janik says, I was up 5K today, down 5K now, ain't thang anymore. It happens, right? Like that's exactly what I said earlier. You know, like a lot of my finance friends were saying this. Like you can be up like your entire annual salary in 3 days and then lose your entire annual salary in 5 minutes. It happens. Welcome to crypto. First time, huh? Welcome to crypto. So I think that's pretty much it. We definitely see some very strong support right now for ETH. I'm not too concerned at this current moment about everything that's going on. Yeah, it's not very concerned at all. Upcoming live streams. Let's take a look at what we have. Ooh, why did one of my... That's a good sign to stop streaming when one of your lights are out of batteries. Let's see what's coming up next. So we have... let's see, let me start. We got 2,000 people here today. So obviously a lot of people are very, very concerned about this current market. Welcome to crypto, guys. Welcome to crypto. If you guys came in, smash up those likes. We're here. We've been around for a long ass time. This whole community is not a young community. We are a community of people who have been in for a long ass time. We're going to do a live stream on Wednesday and Friday this week to just catch up on everything. So make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you click that notification bell as well to get these live streams. Typically speaking, we start these streams at around 11 o'clock a.m. in Hong Kong time. Check the time for your own time. Like if you click the link, I'll tell you what time it is. And if you also click the notification bell, you'll know when I am live as well. I'm also gonna schedule the Friday stream today. So crypto and Bitcoin live stream. I'm putting those events up so we can all schedule those times in. And if you guys are all concerned and you want to ask questions, definitely leave them down below. We'll have more discussions on this. And yeah, guys, this is very much a shopping time for me at the very least. Like once I see, like for the next 3 hours, if we see there's very strong support, that's when I'm gonna go in full on shopping spree time. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for today. We're gonna on Wednesday we're gonna cover more of Innovation Zone. Like there's been a lot of requests to talk about Rari Capital, our Rari. I think most of my friends are like hyping up about this. So yes, yet again, it's got hit by 15%, but my entry position was mostly last week around 4.5%. So I'm still double at which I am at. Reason why people are super into this right now, it's not low cap anymore, but what Rari is doing is they're kind of being a very aggressive yield farmer right now, but they also have another product called Fuse coming up. Alpha leak there, apparently that was dropped on Clubhouse, but lots of development happening, and this is what I like to hear. So anyways, a lot of people were like, okay, what did you invest last week? And that was pretty much my big one that pretty much did pretty well. So yeah, I think DeFi not dead. I highly doubt that. Obviously it sucks to have 20% knocked off your at least my DeFi basket, probably around there, but you know, if you double, what's losing 20%, right? So with that, guys, I would like to say thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys are on top of it. We also have the Friday live stream. I'm going to send that over. Let's see. Why is YouTube so finicky? I don't get it. But yeah, YouTube. XRP is going to be massive. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everything is down. I'm just reading some questions. DFT, more graph, base. Man, it's kind of crazy. Something that I do want to comment about this market is that because there's so much hype right now, a lot of people are buying stuff they don't know anything about. That's the scariest. Like, for me, right, personally, I will do a lot of research into something like that. Like for anything that's in my big basket, my medium basket, even my altcoin basket, unless it's a degen basket, right? So I have like these kind of baskets that are separated from each other. So like usually for the strong hodl and for the medium hodl, I've researched the crap out of every single product. Like there is no reason not to. Like if you're like for me, like research is king, fundamental is king, because at the end of the day, if I want to hold throughout this time, it really does matter. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like research is key. I do occasionally ape into something that's, you know, that does happen when you don't have the time to decide if whether to enter a position or not. But at the end of the day, making sure that research is filled is important. And I know ape is popular right now, especially if you're in my Telegram group, you know, we're a bunch of apes, but being a smart ape is more important. I think my battery, yeah, my video camera is out of battery. So I think we're going to end that today, guys. So I'll definitely like to thank you guys all for watching today. And with that, we'll see you guys next week, and definitely check out the next upcoming live stream. And definitely smash up those likes. Really, really appreciate those likes, guys. It really does help. It's a YouTube thing, I know. I hate begging for likes too. It's not something that I would cherish to do every day, but I definitely appreciate every one of you guys who are helping out and smashing those likes up as well. I'm also leaving the link up for the next stream, which will be on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll talk about more about innovation. It'll be less of a triage session, right? Today is more of a triage session. You know, like everyone's a little bit beat up by the massive dump, but you know, that's just life, right? So that Wednesday will be more of an innovation session. We'll be talking about more of all the new stuff that's coming on here. If you want anything to be added on, definitely ping me on Twitter. And with that, yeah, just give me a shout out on Twitter at me at Box Money. Check out X, Y, and Z, and I'll have another thing. What should I check out? Check out me on Twitter. So ping me there, and we'll got it there. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today, and we are heading off. And I'll see you guys very soon. off is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the box mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on the day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.